Okay, so I just put in the notes, hopefully that shows up. I have a freebie. Hello, Linda. Nice to see you, Linda. Let me go ahead and pop it in and make sure you guys can see. This is the freebie that I'm sharing. I should probably open this up and put it here too. All right, this is probably going to be a pretty quick class, but I definitely want to make sure that you guys are hearing and seeing me. So if you can put in the chat where you're seeing or hearing me from, I should say, watching me from, that would be great, because that would help me to know that it's working. Linda, can you hear me? Oh. So funny, I don't see live chat here. You know what? I maybe just I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna share this with you guys because I think it's gonna be so much better. Hi. All right, let me just share this. If you guys want to pop on Bitly, if you want to hop on the Zoom and Bitly, and then Jen Vasquez, if you want to hop on the Zoom so that you're live with me, that would be amazing, because I hate being by myself on here. So if you want to, you can hop on live, and I'll go ahead and approve you guys as you pop on, or you can just watch it here on Facebook. That's totally cool too. Linda, what's I'm NH? What's NH? Not here? I'm assuming that you can hear me. I hope so. Bring them on video. That's so wild. Never tried this. Okay, well, for those who are watching the replay, I don't want to be very irritating. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get started sharing this information, because I think that you will find some value in it. Let me go ahead and open. I don't know. Oh, there it is. Okay. So hopefully you guys can still all see me and everything's good. Thanks. Okay, so you can join Facebook, or excuse me, you can join the Zoom by going to the bit.ly link if you want. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and just get started. If you have questions, you can throw them in the chat and hopefully I'll see them. All right, so today we are going to be talking about how to use ChatGPT to market your service-based business. I look at ChatGPT as a time saver. It is not something that fully writes my blogs or fully writes my emails. I utilize it to come up with some good creative ideas that are engaging and that kind of thing, so that I can then take it and make it my own with my brand voice and that kind of thing. So first step for sure is to make sure that you know that this is a time savings tool. At this point in time, it is not going to be perfect. It is not going to be 100%. I definitely am excited for you to be here. So please put down #live or #replay in the notes so that I can make sure that we cover all the things that you would like to cover. So what is ChatGPT? Well, it is literally called chat, and then the GPT is generative pre-trained trainer, which is crazy, but basically it is a pre-trained system, and a transformer, not trainer, forgive me, that's a typo. It is it's a generative pre-training transformer. It's basically a large language model developed by OpenAI, and it is based on the GPT architecture, and it's trained on a massive amount of text data that goes, I think at this point, through 2021. ChatGPT is designed to generate natural language text and can be used for a wide range of natural language processing tasks, such as language translation, text summarization, text completion, and conversion generation. It can also be used for various applications, such as chatbot, question answering, content creation, and a ton more. Following the launch of ChatGPT by OpenAI on November 30th, 2022, which I've been using it since then, there has been a huge amount of excitement, interest, concerns, all the things whenever it comes to AI. AI is naturally a kind of somewhat hesitant thing, because we've sort of been brought up on these movies where AI takes over the world, right? But I use it as that time saver, and it makes a huge difference. So there are limitations on toxic responses. So ChatGPT is specifically programmed not to provide toxic or harmful responses. They already knew that somebody would try to use it in a horrible way, I'm sure. And so ultimately they have designed it so that it will avoid answering those types of questions. It is also really important to know that there's garbage in and garbage out. The quality of the questions you ask and how much detailed information you provide, it will give you so much better of an answer or the output. In other words, if you have great prompts, you'll have great answers. That's very, very important to note. Also, answers are not always correct, right? That's because it's trained to provide answers that feel right to humans, and the answers can trick humans that the output is correct. So many users discovered that ChatGPT can provide incorrect answers on occasion, and including some that are sort of wildly inaccurate. The moderators at the Coding QA website Stack Overflow may have discovered an unintended sort of consequence of answers that feel right to humans. And they were flooded with a bunch of information, and they didn't get sort of the correct answers. So the other thing to know, so you don't want to take it as for sure. Like, you want to make sure that either that the answer is correct because you know your industry and sort of what information you're looking up, or you go and do some searches and really research to confirm that it is accurate. So just be aware that it is not 100% perfect out of the box, and nothing, I don't think, ever really will be. The other thing is that it's free for right now. So using ChatGPT is currently free, but they have said that they're going to be putting it behind a paywall at some point. And so at that point, they're going to be charging for it. Nobody knows how much they're going to charge. That's the first question that we've all asked. But because there was an announcement that it is estimated that it's costing ChatGPT $3 million per month of run rate for that business. That was a concern. However, Microsoft didn't think it was that big of a concern, because Microsoft acquired a 49% stake in OpenAI. So it is incredibly cool and effective, and Microsoft buying in with that big of a stake means that they're very well aware of how great it is. Plus, they are going to definitely monetize it. They've already said that. We just don't know when it is. And because of that, and because it's free right now, and there's so many people using it, sometimes it's not going to react. It's going to say that, I'm sorry, we're not available right now, because A, they're working on it, and B, so many people are on it, right? They've gone through a ton of servers, I imagine. So it's not always accessible all the time. So we'll pray that it is today, when I'm going to show you a little bit about how I use it. And everyone always says, how can you use ChatGPT in your marketing business? Well, you can create an ideal client, you can do outlines, you can write blogs, you can brainstorm ideas, you can use it as a chatbot for your website. I don't know technically how to do that, but it is possible. You can create content calendars. Oh, it created an amazing content calendar for me. Also, copy for websites. I used it for my new virtual summit, Creative Marketing Summit, that's going to be at the end of February. If you haven't seen the notice, definitely let me know and I'll send you the link to sign up for it. It is pretty cool. And you can do email nurture sequences. You can do engaging questions for Facebook group. I've used it for all of the questions that everyone is like answering in this Facebook group. It's like 100% way more engaging since I started using it to come up with those engaging questions, right? Again, I don't just ask it to give me questions. I have to be specific about it, right? And then engaging questions, or excuse me, FAQs for a website or for a funnel that you have. Keywords, it comes up with amazing keywords. And it does a lot of SEO. So if you ask it for, you can tell it, like ask it for an outline for a blog post, for instance, then you can write the blog post, fill it out, right? Put in your brand words and everything. And then you can give it a summary, and then you can ask it for an engaging SEO optimized title, and it'll come up with 5 that you can choose from. It is insane. We're going to go over that. Long form video scripts, short form video scripts, market research, marketing strategy. It is insane. I will right now go ahead and let me see if I can put this in the comments. So that is a quick cheat sheet on the things that it can do. I'm sure there's so many more that I have missed on there, but at least you can go ahead and access that for the spreadsheet to see what you like or what have you. Let me go ahead, I think, and now we're going to take a look at it. Okay, so let me go ahead and stop sharing and let me share. First of all, does anybody have any questions thus far so that we can make sure that I can make sure we can get to that? Let me, first of all, I need to put it up. Hold on 1 second. If you have questions, put them in and I'll look for the questions to answer for you, but I'm going to put it on here so I can share. I have like 8,000 windows up here. This is not ever really easy. Okay, here, share. Okay, so this is what ChatGPT looks like when you first log in. And then you're going to go ahead and say, try. And I want you to do this right now, because if you have any questions, I can help you, but also because I want you to get in while it's free. Hi, Christy. I want you to get in while it's free. So you will go ahead and go to, I literally just type ChatGPT, and the first thing that comes up is the OpenAI, the full link, but it is at openai.com /blog/ChatGPT. And then you can go and click on this button. I'm not going to do it right now because I already have an account, but it'll ask you to sign up with your email and your name to sign up for it. Once you're done, hopefully tell me. Nope, I'm not seeing it on there. I'm going to have to, oh, yep, it did. Great. Okay, so once you sign up for it, this is what ChatGPT looks like. You can see all kinds of searches that I've done over here. I'm just going to play with it and just show you some of the things that I use. Please note how much detail I give it when I'm asking questions. So let's go ahead and I'll show you what I mean by that. So can you create an engaging question to ask in a Facebook community? Okay, so I just asked it that, right? And we're going to wait for it to answer. Hopefully, it usually answers really quickly. What's the most memorable experience you've had with a complete stranger? Okay, so that is a question, and that's an engaging question for a Facebook comment. But what I want to do instead is I'm going to go ahead and put that question in there for a Facebook group that is all around that educates people about marketing. So we just added more detail, right? And we're going to see what it tells us. What creative marketing strategy have you used to generate the best results for your business? Great. But I'm going to take it a step further. Let me go ahead and copy this one again. And then I'm going to say, can you create an engaging question to ask with a yes or no answer in a Facebook community or Facebook group? Do you believe that a customer-focused approach is the key to successful marketing? So I just made it a little bit more. I'm going to do the same thing again and say that have 3 options to answer. Okay. So see, I'm getting really specific because for me, I like to have different options for people to pick because those Facebook questions are going to be the most answered questions. When you leave it open-ended, people have to like be creative and come up with something to type, where if you offer them A, B, or C, they're going to typically choose one, right? So which do you believe has a greater impact on consumer purchasing decisions, personal recommendations, advertising, or branding? Right? Wait, you've been posting questions like this in your group. Have they been from? Yes, every question that you've seen in ChatGPT has come, in my Facebook group has come from ChatGPT. No lie. Okay, so these are these are questions. Now, let's go ahead and can you create an ideal client avatar for a photographer who works with businesses, who works with small businesses and are action takers in their 30s. I'm just being totally like unspecific, okay? Or that's specific. But look at this. So an ideal client avatar is, they're going to name her Samantha. She's 34 years old. She's a small business owner, various retail, hospitality, service-based. Goal is to establish a strong online presence, attract new customers through high quality visual content. Personality is ambitious, confident, blah, blah, blah. Insane. Now, here's the secret magic with ChatGPT. Can you elaborate for a client who is, what was I going to say? Hold on. I got to see what I was saying. Various industry, blah, 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 blah. Who is another photographer, let's just say. So it will revise it with that information because it remembers the last information you just asked it. So now it's going to say David, 32, who's a freelance photographer, various like for weddings, events, and commercial, to enhance a portfolio and improve skills through collaboration and learning from others, blah, 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 blah. It is insane how cool this is. Now, when you go to ask a question of it, I'm going to use this. So I'm going to use Samantha here. Right? Here's the pain points, all that stuff. So I'm going to say, can you create a social media post that would entice this ideal client to engage? And then I'm going to put in all of the information they just gave me, right? And this is what I'm talking about, garbage in, garbage out. If we are being very specific, asking it for very specific information for this ideal client, it's going to come up with a social media post that will be enticing to them. It's insane. So we're going to wait a little bit. It's thinking. I love to ask a question that it makes them think because it answers so quickly typically. So we'll see what happens here. Any questions? I know, Christy, it's so insane. Any questions that you have about this? Okay, so sure. Here's an example of a social media post that would entice Samantha. Attention small business owners. I wouldn't start a social media post off with that. It's never going to be perfect. However, like I said, it's a time saver. Are you looking to establish a strong online presence and attract new customers with high quality visual content? Let us help. Our team of professionals, blah, blah, blah. Now, we're not going to go ahead and use this word for word. Like I wouldn't say attention small business owners. I may not. I also would want to be speaking like directly to them. But the fact is that like these things, say goodbye to frustration of creating constant brand images and hello to growth, efficiency, professionalism. I mean, and it gives you hashtags. What? Let's see. Says, can you go back and show what you put as a prompt for the ideal client avatar? Yes. So the prompt I put was, can you create an ideal client avatar for a photographer who works with small businesses and are action takers in their 30s? You can say whatever. Like for me, I would say, can you create an ideal client for couples who are fun, playful, and adventurous and love to have a unique wedding experience, right? That's what I did for my wedding photography business. It was spot on. It freaked me out. Okay, I've heard you can ask it to write a friendly way. Okay, so get this. So let's say I have, okay, can you write an email to, can you write a nice email about, email to a lead that I don't know, let me think of something else. I had a great idea and it just went out of my head. How about this? Can you write a poem about how important marketing is to a service-based business? Now, normally I would just say, hey, write a poem about how important marketing is, but I know that my ideal client is a service-based business. So I'm adding more details. Okay, whoops. Marketing will marketing the heart of a service-based biz. It's more than just selling. It's about making a lasting whiz. To reach new customers, to stand out from the rest, marketing is key to put your business to the test. From online to offline, from social to print, there's no limit to the ways to make your business a hit. To those in need of your service, I mean, it just wrote me a poem. Right? If you've gotten any of my emails in the last couple weeks, I'm loving to do analogies. Can you write an analogy comparing being a mom to running a small business? Let's see what it says. Here's an analogy comparing being a mom to running a small business. Being a mom and running a small business are like two sides of the same coin. Both require a balance of patience, organization, creativity, and tenacity. Just as a mom must care for her children and provide for their needs, a small business owner must care for their business and provide for its needs. Like a child, a small business, I mean, this is insane. So if you're like struggling like I do with like an opening paragraph to your weekly email, this is my magic. This is how I'm sounding really cool and innovative. It's really, really crazy. All right. Any question? Oh, here. So let's do this. Can you write an email? Let's see, not an email. Can you write a blog post that's SEO optimized for my ideal client who is a female service-based business? All right, let's just see. So it's giving me it's giving me a whole blog. It's crazy. I usually like for it to write a framework, like I'll show you one in a second, but this is doing the whole blog. Again, please don't publish this just like this. Google is super smart and it can tell if it is a AI written document. In order to overcome that, you would take this content that they just created for you, which I do all the time now, and you're going to go in and put your verbiage to it, the way that you speak. It's crazy. It's just crazy. And it gives me the keywords that I need to use as well. Like, hello, how about this? Let's do, can you create 5 SEO optimized titles for a blog post about Pinterest marketing for service-based. Do you see how specific I'm being? Businesses. If you just ask for the titles, it's not going to give you what you want. But if you're giving it more specific information, it's going to give you totally ideas. So maximizing your reach, a guide to Pinterest marketing for service-based businesses, attract more customers with Pinterest, marketing strategies for service-based business owners, the power of Pinterest. I have actually used some of these, FYI. I have it ask me this. I then write in my head a little bit about that, like sort of like that entry paragraph. And then I'm going to take a paragraph and I'm going to put it in there and make it better. So for instance, let's say, trying to think of how I can show you this. Just trying to think of what I've done before. So each of these, okay, so wait a second. Let's take this opening paragraph, right? Let's take this opening paragraph of the blog that they wrote. This is, by the way, the thing that I've used a ton. I love rewriting stuff. So I'll write a blog post, and then I'll tell it like this. Can you rewrite this in a cheeky way that entices female service-based businesses, right? And then I paste in the paragraph that it wrote for me. So what it said is service-based, whether you faced unique challenges in a growing promotion in your business, whether you offer services, blah, blah, blah. So then I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to take the paragraph that it wrote, and it's going to rewrite it in a kind of a cheeky way, is kind of sarcastic, but nice, I guess, which I like that tone. And it's going to rewrite it. So for me, taking content that I've written and I'm not feeling really inspired, like it's more, hey, here's the information, versus in a very nice presented way, I will take my content and I have it rewrite it for me so I can still use my brand voice. But and I got an error. Let's try again. It may be, again, it's not perfect. And because it's free and there's so many people using it, it gets a little crazy. Let's see, can you rewrite this paragraph in a cheeky way that entices service-based? Yeah, it's being cheeky today. That's right, businesses. Okay, so let me try this again. Okay. It's time to spicing up your marketing game and tackle those challenges head on. Don't just settle for blending in the rest of the day. I mean, it's crazy. Now, I would never say retail, hospitality, that kind of thing, right? My businesses are for small creative businesses that are service-based. So of course, I'm going to change that language. This is the thing I want to say about that. ChatGPT is a time saver. It is not a content writer. So it is not like a person that you hire to write your blog posts. However, it can be creative for you when you're not creative. It can tell you another way to say things that might be more enticing or SEO optimized. And it it literally saves me time. I used to spend hours writing a blog post each week. And I've cut down and we're talking 5 hours ish. And that cuts down to like 20 minutes. It's insane. So I want all the questions, any concerns, questions, or anything that you want to know. I want to make sure that you guys got can you tell me below in the comments on Facebook if you got the freebie guide that gives you a ton of things? I'll show you what it looks like. Let's see. Oops, that's not it. So this is just the free checklist of all the things that it can do. And it is insanely good at writing Pinterest titles, Pinterest bios, Pinterest descriptions. But I wanted to show one more thing. Sorry, I just realized the one thing I wanted to show and I didn't do it yet. Hold on. Where is it? Here we go. Okay. This is insane. Can you write a TikTok script for about why people should start using Pinterest marketing for their service based? I can't spell. Okay, when you ask it for Instagram, it's going to give you ideas and hashtags. But when you ask it for TikTok, it's going to it didn't do it this time. I'm going to show you though. It is really cool. Did I say TikTok script? Oh, I did, and it didn't. So the last time multiple times that I've done this, it'll actually tell you instructions like film looking at your computer screen and typing on your keyboard. Then next scene, turn to your left and blah, blah, blah. Let me see if I can get it to do that. Write a TikTok script for a photographer. Let's just do that. Let's see. And of course, it's not going to do it when I'm trying to show you it. It was insane. It literally wrote a script telling me what to do. Okay, so again, if it's not doing what you want it to do, we're going to spicing it up. So I'm going to stop generating. I'm going to go like this with action steps, let's just say. I don't know if it'll take it that way. Let's try with direction. Now it's thinking. I got it stumped. Oh, Linda, yeah. Even if they're perfect, you want to change them. And you can change them with just words. So for instance, if it says in there to, I don't know, whatever it is, but be specific. Like if a step is to call your local real estate agent, I would say, call your company name and ask for Linda. Like I would be very specific that it is about you and your business, because other people are going to use it and they might have, it will be generic for them. We want it to be really specific for you. Yeah, of course it's not going to do it when I'm trying to showcase it. That's not cool. Course creator. No, so yeah, so let's try this. Here we go, Steph. Can you create a TikTok reel? TikTok script, sharing 5 benefits of creating a course. I'm just going to do that. Now, Again, you want to add for service-based businesses, for Gen Z, for like whatever it is. So this one's saying, hey, TikTok fam, it's your favorite educator here today. Like, I would never say that, right? So say what you would say, but you're using this as an outline. Today, I'm telling you or explaining to you why you should create a course. And I would take that completely out. Whether you're an expert in your field or just have a passion for teaching, there's so many benefits to creating a course. Let's dive into the top 5. 1, you can share your knowledge and experience with others, blah, 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 blah. So whenever you get something, if you want it to be more specific, then share it. So let's say, can you revise above the info above for a photographer? Let's just say that you are focusing on photographers creating a course, which I know you're not, but I'm just saying, let's see how it changes. But the key for this is ask it to redo it by giving more specifics, or make sure you're really specific when you ask it, and take what it's giving you, but fully make it your own. So like Linda, you were talking about, if it says something like, by creating a course, your potential earn money while you sleep, it's a win-win. Like, I don't believe that there's such thing as like, making money while you sleep. So I would probably change that to say with the least amount of energy or something like that, that it would just make it your own. And so it's your favorite photographer here. Today, I'm talking about why you should create a photography course. So you're not a photographer, Steph, but I'm just saying, like, it is never going to be perfect. And even Linda, if it seems super perfect, challenge yourself to add or change words into Linda-isms, like words or the way you say words, even though you might feel like I do that, well, this is like, it's much more professional than I am, but a lot of people come to me for education because of how I share, not because of how I say something, if that makes sense. So try to make sure that you're infusing all of this with yourself. All right. Questions, because I want to make sure that that's why I'm on here to answer. So I would love to know, have you used it yet? If you haven't, are you going to sign up today? Because it's free right now. And what is something that you learned that you didn't know about ChatGPT? Because I would love to know that. And no worries about being late, Steph. You were going to be early today. Let's see. All right, ChatGPT said it was at capacity, so I've been using the OpenAI Playground, which I think is similar or maybe the same. I've heard people say that it's not the same. I personally haven't played with the Playground, so I don't know. And you're going to see all kinds of others pop up at this point. But ChatGPT has something that I forget the name of it, but it is another level that it is even more like a human, in other words. So I would continue to try throughout the day. I find early in the morning and late at night, like for you, especially if you do it in your morning time, because of the whole rest of the United States, you'll be on before anybody else and you'll be able to get in. How specific can you get? As like literally, I have never gotten more specific. Like I've never found a way to, like, I'm super specific all the time, and I keep pushing it and keep pushing it, and it keeps giving me answers. So I don't think that there is that you can't get too specific. Make sure that you're thinking about your ideal client. Oftentimes when you're describing something that you want to write about, if you give it, say, I want to write a blog post for my clients whose pain point is XYZ. Like if you ask it that question, you're going to get very specific on target content that will blow your mind. Okay. Megan, yay, you're signing up. I'm so excited. You're going to hate me because you're going to love it so much. And then when it goes to a paid plan, like I'm literally going to pay for it when it gets paid for real. Yay, good for you, Christy. Oh, yes, Linda. So you just learned that you can get like super. I'm telling you that the biggest mistake people make with ChatGPT, especially if they think that it doesn't work or they don't like it, is because they're not being specific enough. So yes, being specific helps so, so much. Okay, final questions before I pop off. And I would love for you guys to leave a comment below if you found this helpful, what part you liked, what do you wish that I did that I didn't do, because I'm going to be doing this at my Creative Marketing Summit with a friend. We've been in this journey together. And so I would love for you to put comments down here. They let you in. Yay, Christy. Awesome. Yeah, the poem is insanely cool. It's really cool. I've asked it for quotes. I've asked it for it. It is very cool. All right, ladies, I really appreciate you popping on. Have a great day today. And the video will stay in here for a little while and then we're going to take it out. So have a great day today. Bye.